Greetings. For those of you who don't know me, I am Illadore de Bedegrayne, and I am the Kingdom Seneschal for the Kingdom of AEthelmearc, the kingdom where Pennsic happens. Because of that, Pennsic falls under AEthelmearc's COVID policies, so let's get to them. We're going to discuss COVIDSafe, masking, and what to do if you get sick at Pennsic. First and foremost, we are following the SCA's COVIDSafe policy. You can read it in full in the comments below, but the short summary is that anyone 5 years and up must show either proof of being fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or proof of a negative COVID test taken within 72 hours prior to check-in that has been issued by a licensed medical facility. It cannot be a regular home test. Some important points. This is required. If you do not have proof of a negative COVID test or proof of vaccination, you will be turned away regardless of how far you have traveled or your status in the SCA. Local testing centers may be full. Your entry to Pennsic will be likely delayed hours, if not days, if you come unprepared. Please prepare and let others know who do not do social media as well. Electronic versions of a proof of vaccination or proof of a negative test are okay. Two other quick points. There's absolutely no menacing of COVIDSafe checkers at Troll. Please be kind to these staff members. They are trying to help you get through the line as quickly as possible. Anyone that starts yelling at them, bullying, acting disrespectfully, or being abusive to them in any way, shape, or form will immediately be told to remove themselves from the property for the duration of the Pennsic War. Other point. Please be advised that the COVIDSafe policies are for attendees, the landowners, their staff, and some of the food vendors who do not participate in the event are not covered by this policy, nor the mask policy. There will be no menacing, yelling, or bullying of them either. There should be no menacing, bullying, or yelling at other people regardless. Next up, masks. AEthelmearc has a two-part masking policy. Part one, if you are unvaccinated, you need to wear your mask at all times in public areas. This doesn't include when you're in your private camp. You need to cover your mask over your nose and mouth. Yes, this absolutely does involve kids. Any kids 2 and above who are unvaccinated need to be wearing a mask when they are in public. Again, this is for outside your camp, outside your private camp, and in public areas. Part two. In any place that is inside, when COVID transmission is high or substantial on the CDC transmission map, that's not the community level. If it's green, it's the wrong map. Then everyone must wear a mask. So what's inside? Troll is considered inside due to its high density and volume. It's considered inside, and masks are required by Troll the entire time. The Great Hall, the big giant barn, is considered inside if the doors are down, and the laundry house area is considered inside, the bathhouses and trailers used by the SCA. Of note, the upper level of the Cooper shower house next to the Cooper store will be closed and locked for the entirety of Pennsic 49. The upper bathrooms will still be accessible through the deck. Please let families with older children and teenagers know that they will not be able to hang out and play games inside the shower house like they have in previous years. No one's going to be allowed in there. What is outside? All Pennsic provided tents, save Troll, are considered outside. The Great Hall is considered outside if the doors are all open, and of course the outside is outside. The Cooper store and the internet cafe is not part of the event, and they don't fall under these policies. Side note, private camps at Pennsic can set their own rules for masks in their camp and in their tent areas. So, what to do if you get sick at Pennsic? If you become sick at Pennsic, or you get COVID or test positive for COVID while you are at Pennsic, you should immediately put on a mask and return home immediately. If there are extenuating circumstances, if that's not possible, say due to plane tickets, you should isolate yourself and tend to camp, notify your campmates for their own health and safety, and do not participate in any activities such as martial, classes, ANS, court, parties, the like, And then you can return to activities after 5 days of no symptoms and a negative COVID test issued by a licensed medical provider. Or if you do have symptoms, 10 days and a negative COVID test issued by a licensed medical provider. Again, this is only if you cannot return home due to extenuating circumstances. Now, we know that some of you do not agree with these policies, and this is an added burden. We just really want you to understand that our main goal here is to keep the greatest number of people at the lowest risk. To summarize, COVIDSafe is policies in effect at Pennsic. You must show proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID test from a licensed medical facility taken within 72 hours prior to arrival. Unvaccinated individuals 2 and up need to wear a mask at all times in public places, and masks are required by everyone inside if the rate of transmission is high. And if you get sick or test positive at Pennsic, mask up and return home. Thank you so much for listening to our policies, and I thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful war.